July 6, 1971, Portland, Oregon. I was going to college
Okay.
down there at Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising. Closer to Pacific Heights.
Okay.
So during that time, we had the World Series going on between the two San Francisco Bay Area baseball teams, so Oakland A's and the San Francisco Giants, and everyone was busy getting ready for that. There was a lot of excitement with that, and that was really the main focus of San Francisco during that time. I was in the shower, actually, in my apartment, and I was 18 years old, and there were a bunch of us that were living in. I had a roommate, and then there were like four other girls that were in the same proximity, and everyone was in our apartment because my boyfriend from Portland was coming down. And I had gone into the shower, and everyone was horsing around, and for some reason, I it doesn't even make sense, but I thought someone was playing a prank. Somehow was, you know, making it doesn't even make sense, but I thought someone was playing a prank on me. Right, but it wasn't I didn't have this panic feeling like you would imagine. All I remembered was staying in a doorway. So I get out of the shower. Well, one, I get out of the shower and yell at my friends in a, what's going on? And everyone's like, it's an earthquake. So I stood in the doorway, wrapped in my towel, stood in the doorway in the bathroom. Well, it didn't even feel like it lasted that long, but the scary part were all the aftershocks.
Sure.
So, and they started happening pretty quickly. So, I felt like even though the main quake happened, for just, seconds as it did, I felt like it lasted all day because it just didn't stop. There weren't any fires close by, but it was that fear.
Okay.
And that was the biggest fear that people had. That and glass breaking from, all many of the buildings are really old in San Francisco.
Sure.
So the glass breaking was also a big deal. Our neighborhood wasn't that bad at all, which was surprising because there were a lot of brick buildings and whatnot. But if you went down to the marina, which was, we could walk down there from where we were, that had the massive devastation. And then also, if you went downtown, the big department stores, those are the ones whose windows were collapsed in. So our geographic area was okay. There was a little bit of damage. Everyone was on edge. Everyone was, this is the day before cell phones. So I know it's hard for you to understand, but a lot of the panic was people couldn't contact their family to let them know that they were okay. My biggest fear was, even though I was okay, I couldn't get a hold of my mom, and I knew my mom would be freaking out.
Right.
So everyone was just really tense. People couldn't get into their offices. So communication was a big problem. No, I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I worked downtown, and the shop closed for a couple of days because they had to do repairs down there. And I was young, and any excuse to get out of school was a pretty good. The earthquake was a pretty good excuse for that. We took time off of school, walked down to, we meaning the group of friends I hung out with, walked down to the marina, took a bunch of pictures of the volunteer centers because people needed clothing, food, water. Some of these homes were completely destroyed. They were leveled. I moved home a couple months afterward. It did enough to freak me out, and I was not prepared to be on my own in that type of situation. Not being able to get a hold of someone to let them know I was okay. It was that fear that that you're kind of, even though I had my friends with me, I was really isolated from my family. And that was the first time that had ever happened.
Living my dreams like I never had a nightmare. I'm ahead, talking like yes. I don't see the same things when I'm way up, when I'm way up. It's hard to make it harder to stay up, stay up. I've been thinking, I've been seeing, I've been learning, I've been learning. Show you how the world turning. Money show, yeah. Old friends say I'm different cause I'm earning. Yeah. What's the bridge when it's burning?
It ain't the mountains ahead that weigh you down, it's the pebble in your shoe. Heavy in my boots, invested in the dream, now I'm living on the screen. Everybody want the fruits, they say I got the juice, cause humble beginnings is finished, I'm making millions. Funny how when tables get turned, so do attendance. People get entitled like loyalty come with pension. My mind should be at ease, but I'm the one that come to tension. Like, I heard my boy at the crib was talking down loud. Game ain't the same, he up on cloud 9. What an excuse to try and give your pride a boost. I gotta cut you loose, but we can call it all a truce. I hit my pops, he like, you all these people nuts. Tell him what it is, and it's not up for discussion. You gotta stand for something, or you bound to fall for nothing. Crazy how I got it all, at times it's like I'm suffering.
Living my dreams like I never had a nightmare. I'm ahead, talking like yes. I don't see the same things when I'm way up, when I'm way up. It's hard to make it harder to stay up, stay up. I've been thinking, I've been seeing, I've been learning. Money show you how the world turning. Money show, yeah. Old friends say I'm different cause I'm earning. Oh, I'm earning it. What's the bridge when it's burning?
Hey, the way I think is different, hard for me to pass a message. Cause every word I speak is like a class in session. I mean well, but the cash in my jeans swell, so they probably take offense, or it might just not ring bells. People I was tight with, now we ain't got much in common. Thinking about the times when we ain't complete assignments. Sad to think about all my friends that turn to violence when they were showing promise. I'm just paying homage, ayy. Feel like a victim of success, it's lonely at the top. It's lonely. Every accomplishment, people take a drop. A lot of vacant spots and struggling, I hate to watch. And more money, more problems makes us tell it right. I started peeping that Jesus really the reason. I'm healthy every season and protected from the demons. And gold digging women that's plotting all on the semen. The life of cold game got the boy feeling anemic.
Living my dreams like I never had a nightmare. I'm ahead, talking like yes. I don't see the same things when I'm way up, when I'm way up. It's hard to make it harder to stay up, stay up. I've been thinking, I've been seeing, I've been learning. Money show you how the world turning. Money show.